We've walked through powerful energies this month, no doubt. Okay, endings, beginnings, transformations. There was the cosmic audit, right? 999. Uh, what else? Solar eclipse, the equinox. Okay, so talk about chaos. Okay, it might have been chaotic for you. It may have felt overwhelming, but now the storm begins to quiet. The air feels different. We're not being shoved forward or held back. We're standing in what seems to be a new space. It's open, it's spacious. It may even feel unfamiliar to us. And this is where the real shift begins to happen. Not in the chaos, not in the unraveling, but in the moment of stillness. This is when we get to notice what's around us, to choose what makes us feel alive, to honor what belongs, and to discard what doesn't. It's about starting to live in the new beginning that we have already stepped into. So join me as we dive into understanding how to embrace this energy. And by the end of our time together, it's my intention, my hope, that you have the insight now, the knowledge, the tools to go forward with confidence, with clarity, with love. So hi, I'm Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly. Thank you so much for being here. I do honor your time, even though I'm long-winded. But I want you to understand so that you can go with the flow of how everything evolves around us, so that we can be part of that flow instead of fighting a current. Okay, so thank you all for showing up, for your positive, loving support that you send me each and every day. I do send it right back to you, tenfold. Welcome to your weekend focus, September the 27th and the 28th, 2025. Okay, so the 27th for Saturday, 2 plus 7 is a 9. And the 9 is about endings, healing, letting go of things, finishing things, completing things, so that we can make space for those new beginnings. And the 27 energy becomes more of a teaching kind of energy in this scenario, because we have, when we look at the numerology of the day for Saturday, it is a 9 plus a 9 plus a 9. Yes, the third and last part of the cosmic audit portal that we have been walking through for the month of September. So it is about understanding what we have gone through and utilizing it to maybe teach other people how to walk the path in the way that you did, in a way that is successful. People, we have so many anxieties and fears and worries and concerns, and to be that voice for them, to help them through what they are walking through by being able to relate to it and understanding what you did wrong and what you did right. And so the 9 energy here is about understanding how we let go of things, how we move them to the rearview mirror, how we didn't allow it to play a part any longer in our present and future life path. On Sunday, now we have the energy of the 28. 28, 2 plus 8 is a 10, 1 plus 0 is a 1. Okay, now we get to the 1 through a 28 here, which is not so much, 10 is about stepping into a new path, a new season, and this is what we're doing with the equinox, right? We are entering a new season. The solar eclipse is asking us to write a new chapter of our life, or chapters of our life, our path forward, how we see our success growing, our happiness, our joy, our love. The 1 energy is about being independent, knowing that many people walk with us, but we are the one that has to keep the flame lit. We are the one that is in it from beginning to end. Nobody else. Rarely nobody else, unless we pass young. So we have to look at our motives behind those goals, those dreams, those desires we have. Was it to outdo the next door neighbor? Because chances are, under a 28 energy, that is completely going to bring in a negative energy. In really stepping into something that you want, you dream of, you desire, but you have to understand what is your motive. Is it about love? Is it about growing? Is it about compassion? Is it about future successes and happiness and joy and wealth and finances and good health? And what else is there? We could go on, right? What are our motives? Now, if we look at the daily numerology for Sunday, it'd be a 9 plus a 1 plus a 9, which is a 19, right? 1 plus 9 is a 10 again. 1 plus 0, 1. But now we get there a little bit more of by the 19 energy, which is ourselves, which is about acknowledging our accomplishments, how we've gotten to here, how we've been successful in building our strength and our courage and our belief in ourself and our goals and our dreams and our desires and our love. Okay. The journal, 2026 journal. Oh, where is it? It's back there. Okay. Every day I choose me. 365 days of the year. But it's 410 pages because I add in the numerology. I add in all kinds of stuff. So, go to the solar eclipse. I think I have it on that one, or even the equinox right after or just before the numerology. Somewhere in there, I talk about the journal. Okay, so just go to that part and you can see it. Okay, it will come printed to you so that you can write in it. It's got a strong coil, so it's not going to start falling apart on you. And it's going to open you up to understanding that you are already deserving, you are already worthy, that you are beautiful and the perfect package already. It's about allowing you to understand that about you. Yeah, so the link will be in the bottom. Thank you for everybody who has already ordered. I can't believe it. So thank you. Thank you truly. I do believe I created a masterpiece for a roadmap of your year going forward. And wow, when you look back and see your transformation as you read throughout the year again, perhaps you look back, you'll be amazed by the growth. You'll be amazed by the growth. Show up for yourself for just a moment each day by writing in that journal, by reading what I've put in there. You've got affirmations every single day. You have questions to ask yourself every single day, and it's aligned with the sun and the moon and the equinoxes and the solstices and the numerology, everything. Anyways, let's get to us. Okay, the sun. The sun is in Libra. Our moon is in Sagittarius. And this weekend carries the final 999 portal of September, the cosmic audit. Okay, the last step in a story that's been building all month. So now the endings are moving away. They're behind us now. We've walked through the doorway. We're standing in the new space on the other side of that door, learning what it feels like to live here. Okay, because we have been walking through. Okay, and I do have the 99 portal. I'll leave it as a link at the end if you want a refresher of what this portal has meant. And you've walked through it, whether or not you participated consciously or not. You have walked through it, and you may notice some things about yourself over the last month that you failed to realize and become conscious of it. It becomes stronger, okay? It becomes more potent, okay, for your empowerment, your potential. Anyways, it's not about closure anymore. Okay, it's about weaving the threads of our new life into something whole. It's about noticing how the choices we are making and how they're already kind of reshaping our lives in very subtle but undeniable ways when you look at it. Now, at the same time, the chart spreads, the astrological chart of today, or this weekend, I should say, spreads into what is called, to astrologers, a splay pattern. So it's energy that is scattered in clusters. Yes, yes, I went down another rabbit hole. But as I was learning about a splay, I was amazed by the alignment of what we are currently walking through with the 999 portal. And so I meditated on it, and they showed me this quilt. So I'm going to use the quilt because I can't think of any other way of describing this to you. Okay. Um, and so if you've ever been a part of making a quilt or seeing a quilt done, the ones with the squares, okay? So you start with uh, the backing, which is, you can represent that as your life, your complete life, your whole life. Split it out into different sections if you must, of health and well-being and career and spirituality and home and family and whatnot. Okay, but each square represents different things. So they come in different colors, sometimes different fabrics, and they're first pinned all together to see what the overall looks like, and then we sew it together, and it becomes that beautiful, warm, cozy quilt that you, it is something that makes you feel safe and secure. And anyways, so imagine that homemade quilt, okay? Better yet, imagine all the different squares. You got them laid out in front of you in different piles, or maybe they're scattered, or maybe they're in a box, but imagine all those squares. And now we get to put them all together, okay? That's what this energy is about, okay? It's like a quilt um, being slowly stitched from many different squares. Okay, so we're not following a narrow focus or anything here. There's variety and there's diversity and there's possibilities. Because if you look at a chart, okay, what it is it's like seven planets here, one planet here, two planets here, or eight planets here and nine planets here. They're evenly spaced throughout the wheel, but they do have the clusters as well, right? So we're looking at all parts of our life. We're standing in the middle in all the planets and all the aspects that we've walked through and how it affects different parts of our life and who we are and who we are becoming. Okay, so it's our whole journey forward, our present and forward. Okay. So, it's kind of like we are threading each square, each part of our life into a kind of harmony and balance. We're thinking about how to allow this transformation. Do I do it alone? Do I do it with people? Do I journal about it? Do I meditate about it? What actions are needed in order to walk in that direction? Will it work in all areas of my life? Where do I, we can go on and on, okay? Obviously, this can feel exciting, or at least I'm excited about it. And liberated, okay? And it can feel messy and it can feel unfinished, and that's the point. So if you're feeling out of sorts and uncomfortable, that's the point. These pieces are meant to be explored before they're sewn into the final design, just like you are making a quilt. You might have too much pink here and you want to move some of the pink into there, or you have too much corduroy up in here and you're going to move it down, and whatever. Maybe it tells a story. Okay, so after weeks of the eclipse chaos and the equinox reset and the bringing in balance and the transformative breakthroughs we've had with the sun, having all kinds of conversations this week, and we have the cosmic audit happening. This weekend, we have this gift of integration. Okay, the storm has quieted. This is where we get to breathe. I think I need to breathe for a minute. Okay, look around and begin to stitch the first threads of the new chapter together, or maybe just pin it all together and we'll start sewing later. But, this is a weekend to explore without any kind of pressure. Try out new ideas, follow sparks of curiosity, play with the pieces in front of you. Nothing has to be set into stone yet. Nothing has to be sewn together yet. Nothing has to be forever yet, okay? We're not being asked to commit to making a quilt. We're just being asked to notice the colors and patterns that call to us. And it's time for you to honor that threshold you've crossed through the month of September. You don't need to keep looking back, okay? Wondering if we should reopen a new chapter. And I'm going to go right back to the quilt thing again because it all comes together so easily when you bring it together as a quilt. You know, it's like we've already cut all the squares that we want to carry forward. The pieces of love and truth and wisdom that belong in our new quilt. The path that we want to walk, and the rest, it's been set aside. Okay, what matters now is how to begin stitching these new pieces into the landscape. Ones that reflect who we become, who we are in this moment, and where we're going. And perhaps most importantly, this weekend is a weekend to allow just the patches to be just that. The things we want to weave into our life. No pressure, no commitment. And yeah, it probably won't make a lot of sense right away. And it doesn't have to. Okay, the beauty of a quilt is in how many different pieces and even we can combine different stitching, to create something whole. Okay, so trust that your life is coming together that exact same way, stitch by stitch, square by square. Because the energy, when you look at the splay, when you look at the wheel, the astrology chart for this weekend, it's spread wide. So yeah, we're going to feel restless. We're going to feel scattered, and that's okay. We have a heap of squares, and somehow we need to just stop and look at different areas of our life and to begin to piece it all together towards harmony, towards balance. And so we're going to have moments of doubt. We're going to wonder whether this new beginning is real because it doesn't look neat, it doesn't look defined. We can't really put our finger on an actual until we sit there and we start allowing our intuition, our wisdom to talk to us. Beginnings rarely do look neat and defined. They start raw, imperfect. It's going to be a process. Absolutely. And we have, with the solar eclipse, we've got another 6 months to make that quilt, to start to bring it all together. Okay, the energy is not about chasing answers. It's about stepping into that quiet power of what has already shifted. The endings are complete. The doorway is behind us. And we're no longer peeking through or hesitating at the threshold. We're now fully inside the new space. And that itself is a sacred moment. The splay chart shows us that this space won't be one clean line or one single direction. It's a patchwork. It's many colors. It's many textures. It's many pieces of life asking to be seen. Some will belong, some won't. But right now, the invitation is just to explore, to play, to notice what makes you feel alive. Remember, the moon is in Sagittarius. It's about looking at opportunities, adventures, learning experiences, new relationships. So if life feels a little messy, scattered, incomplete, well, that's the process. The storm has passed. The air is clearer. Or we have clarity, would probably be, or we are gaining clarity. And in this stillness, we're reminded that the real transformation doesn't come from a single dramatic event or a moment in time, but from the slow and steady choice to keep showing up for a life that's unfolding. This weekend's about honoring where we've arrived. It's about trusting that the pieces will find their place, in giving ourselves permission to live, to step into, to walk this new story, one step, one choice, one stitch at a time. Okay, let's go to the cards. Oh, wait. We're going to look. We're going to look. Oh, look at that. The Six of Pentacles, the balance. Okay, the balance in our relationships, in our environments, giving and receiving. Is it balanced? Everybody may have their hand out, but who do you give your love, your attention, your time, your energy, your resources to, and for what reasons? So that was more of Friday, wasn't it? Okay. But it is about creating a new balance for ourselves as well and understanding going forward where we will put our time, our energy, our resources in relationships and parts of our life, our career, our well-being, our health, our spirituality within the community, what we give, what we receive. Okay, let's see what the cards have to tell us. We have, look at this, the Eight of Wands. Amazing things will start to open up on our horizons if we allow to see it, if we are conscious of the opportunities and the adventures that are actually being offered to us during this time. Okay, I always see this as there's this giant and he's pulling back the bow and he's got all these wands in there. And we're like we're on a golf course, right? Someone's going to hit, but we're not looking at them. We're looking at the horizon to see where that ball is going to land. In this case, we're going to watch where those wands land. Okay, and we're going to walk towards some of those wands because those are all the opportunities, all the adventures, all the new learning experiences, relationships, career moves, whatever you have. That's what's being thrown out there. Which way will you go? Maybe several, hopefully all. Five of Wands, Five of Wands. Um, I always kind of every so often play nicely with others. It's really, really what this card stands for in many ways. Okay, every one of us is unique and different, and we bring something to the table. And so, no, this is a little bit about that control we were talking about. Okay, wanting the control. This is about not, having the control, but you are working together collectively for the common good. So this could be bonding. This could be playful competition to bond with each other, to grow with each other, to see what each person does bring into our life, how they mirror something that we want to step into, because usually that's what it is. That first attraction is like, wow, you are that person because I'm into this and you're into that, and oh wow, and they're seeing the same thing within you. Okay. Two of Swords. Well, decisions need to be made when this card comes out. They're not easy decisions. They're actually, some of them are struggles, true struggles within us. We know what we should do, what we need to do, and yet a part pulls us back from actually doing that. And we may reach outside of ourselves to the external world and try and find the answers we seek, because we definitely don't like the ones that we know that we have to do. And we're not going to find the answers outside of us. People have their opinions and we can take them in, we can mull them over, but at the end of the day, we need to go within and make the decisions, the hard decisions, the uncomfortable decisions, to really align with our path forward and the opportunities, the abundance of the opportunity that is presenting itself. And we have the Seven of Pentacles, one of my favorites, actually. Okay, this is asking you, where is your focus and where does your focus need to be? And the focus needs to be on you and your life path and the landscape of it all. And some of the things that you do want to move forward with and some of the things that you are leaving behind. and understanding that you are leaving them behind to make space for these new beginnings and to embrace it. The new story about you, the old stories don't matter as much anymore. Just the lessons and the wisdom that came forward with you to make you who you are today. This is really stepping into a new space. And so, where's your focus? Is it on somebody else's drama? Is it on somebody else's agenda? Or is it on yours? Because it needs to be about you and your growth. Look at the bumper crop you're growing. That is because you had the focus where it needed to be. Because when you are strong, everybody around you is strong. Okay, the ancient stones. Finally got a link down below for this, for anybody who is interested in the deck. The Hag Stone, energy shield protection and inner strength. So, when I held this up and I just took a moment to look at it, then I start to see the rainbow haze around it. So, what do you see? Do you see somebody praying with their hands together, or is that a keyhole to a doorway? A doorway within us. How fitting is that with the 999 cosmic audit? Okay, about going within. Oh my gosh, I got goosebumps, I'm telling you. Okay, so let's see what the book says. I'm excited here. Are you? I hope so. Because we're going to learn. They did so much research. So much research when they put this together. I'm so impressed with that. Because it allows us to have all these new rabbit holes to jump down. And I mean, learning is good. Knowing more is good. So, you know, so maybe it's something you had an interest in, but nobody else talks about it. So it kind of went on the back shelf and you don't really bring it up into your mind, and it doesn't really come up in the world. Well, here it is, the hagstone we're talking about today. Hagstones or fairy stones are any type of stone that has naturally occurring hole through it, caused by the action of water over very long periods of time. You know what? I do not have a stone like that. I mean, I got some with holes, but not what they're talking, right? Like I got this. Actually, my son left. See how it's got a hole in there, but my son left that behind, and I claimed it. These stones are sought after, treasured, and revered for their magical properties, and are believed to offer protection to the person who holds them, wears them, or hangs or displays them in their home. They are also said to bring good luck. I've got to find me a hagstone. Many folk stories tell how hagstones have the capacity to act as a shield against negative energy and spells. The theory stems from the ancient belief about the power of water, whereby negative spells or magic lose their power upon meeting moving water. Since the hole in the hag stone was created by flowing water, the protection of that water remains within the stone, and whoever holds it is protected by it. The hagstone card is one of protection. It appears because you are already protected in your life, or it's a call to take a moment to look at the ways that you may be leaking energy, or are the target of negative energy. This card isn't one to be afraid of. Instead, see it as a message from the stones to look at your foundations and tighten up any ways that you may be leaving yourself exposed, so you can feel strong and secure as you go about your life. And, I've talked before about putting the mirrors around you facing outwards, okay? Almost like you're inside a disco ball kind of thing. Repelling energy, because evil cannot stand to see itself, therefore it will leave. It will go back to where it was formed. Okay, so, and if it goes back to the person that tried to mean you some kind of ill will, then, well, they shouldn't do that in the first place. I remember one time somebody was on a full throttle attack of my character, of my reputation, of my job, actually putting my job into jeopardy even at the time. And I've always done that protection. I've been doing it for 25, 30 years, that wall. And I don't do it as often anymore, but I don't think you need to do it. I was doing it every day. When I got in the car to go to work, I would say it before I walked into that building each and every day. Or if I was, driving in the morning, usually somewhere. But not that, I really felt I needed protection, but I did. It was always revealed to me later, but somebody said, well, can't you do something like, kind of mean to her? Like, can't you just send out some kind of energy? And I said, no, I can't, because it will eventually come back to me, and it'll harm me a lot more than it will harm them. So no, I can't do that. I'd like to do that, but I can't do that. So I did other things instead that were allowed. So I'll tell you, one of them, believe me or not, was I sewed the lips, their lips up in my mind. I stitched them so that they couldn't speak ill of me anymore. And you know what? It stopped. They stopped. They stopped. And like I always say, integrity. People of integrity expect to be believed, and when they're not, they let time prove them right, which is exactly what happened. Okay, anyways, the ancient stone activation. Did I read this? No, I didn't. I call upon the hagstone to protect me from any harsh energies that may be directed at me. Shield and protect me morning, noon, and night. I'm protected. I'm strong. I'm safe. Also, about the mirrors is love attracts love, like attracts light. So, more and more goodness actually appears around you over time. I can tell you that is true as well. So, I mean, that's just one of the stories. I've got probably 15 stories where I was made aware of something where somebody was trying to, do me harm. I was a boss, okay? People, they're supposed to hate their boss, but they like their boss, You're looked at a little differently by all the coworkers, and we can't have that. So, anyways, look at this. Practice patience. Practice patience. So let's see what the Raven has to say on the subject. Truthfulness, patience, believe. Patience is waiting, not passively waiting. That's laziness. But to keep going when the going is hard and slow, that is patience. Raven reminds you that a situation involves a whole lot of patience. A matter that has recently arisen is affecting your ability to be truthful with yourself, along perhaps with others. Raven speaks the truth with love, with patience. Don't mind the time, nor fear running out of time. Instead, believe that what you want to have happen will happen, but it will take time. No matter the category of your life that you require patience in, love, finances, career, health, it would benefit for you not to focus on the clock, but instead to work at building a strong foundation around you. It is at the right time, and you will know when that time happens, and you will fly again. You may not know all the factors yet that are preventing you from your wishes coming true. You don't need to. You only need to believe that the moon will light the way and help guide Raven to the right place at the right time. So you will be guided to the right place at the right time. But yes, action is important. So beautiful, wonderful energy to go forward through the weekend with. Enjoy, create laughter, create moments, be in the now. Experience life, be very conscious of all that is being offered to you. And start to get comfortable in this new life that we've all stepped into. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.